Heart to Heart Catholic Media Ministry, in association with Bellarmine Jesuit Retreat House, presents And the Word Was Made Flesh, Incarnation Reflections for Advent and Christmas.
Today's presenter is Dr. Terry Nelson Johnson. Dr. Terry served on the faculty of the Loyola Academy Jesuit High School for 18 years and is founder of Soul Play LLC. He is resident theologian and animator of faith at Old St. Pat's Church, holds a master's degree from Loyola University, and a doctor of ministry from the University of St. Mary of the Lake. Now let's listen to Dr. Terry's reflection.
This isn't a traditional Christmas story, but consider the source. It is, however, one of my most precious Christmas stories, and I look forward to sharing it with you. The time of the story, my kids are like 6 and 9. My wife had wanted to go to India for about 18 years to take a yoga therapy program that was about 7 weeks in duration from really, really high-end yoga folks in India. And I was encouraging her to go, and she's like, no. And, it only happened every 3 years. So now we're on our like 5th round. And I'm like, you have got to go. You want to do this? We can do this. And she's like, what about the kids? I'm like, the kids and I will be fine. Don't worry, we'll be great. So it took a lot of convincing, but I did get her to go. And one of her hesitancies was, I have pretty severe ADHD. And I think she thought, she was a little scared that I would be up one night at 10 o'clock when they have that thing on the news that said, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? She's a little scared. I mean, like, no, I really have no idea. But I convinced her, like, no, we'll be good. So she goes. And it's the summertime. It's very hot. We make it for about the first 5 weeks. And I think there should be some kind of public service article about me. Man takes care of children by himself for 5 weeks. And then it occurs to me, like, women do this every day for years. But anyway, we were doing fine, and the air conditioning breaks, and we have maybe 10 days left, and it is extremely hot. I know nothing about air conditioning, so my kids were going to the pool every day. So we start going to the pool, and my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, becomes very intrigued with the diving pool. And she takes my hand, we go over there, and she says, Daddy, I would like to go off the high dive. I'm like, Claire, no, I don't think the high dive is appropriate. Have you been off the low dive? She's like, no, I want to go off the high dive. And I said, no, Claire, you can't go off the high dive. And she is a powerful, even as a 6-year-old, like, you do not want to get into power struggle with Claire. And so I tell her, no, that we can't do that. And she just hammers away, hammers. Now we're on like day 3. And, I'm wearing down. So I'm like, okay, Claire, come with me. So we go over to the diving pool. Like, Claire, if you go off the high dive, you can't come out the short way. You're going to have to go out the long way. Can you swim that long? And she turns her head back and forth. She's like, I think so. Like, okay, Claire. And, at some time, kids just wear you down. And I'm like, fine, just go, whatever it is, go. So she walks over to the high dive and she starts to go up the steps. And every step is sort of like a mountain climbing experience for her. She gets to the top and she looks ridiculously small. She's also the whitest kid I've ever seen in the world. So now this little munchkin is on the board and she's garnering attention from people. And she is walking extremely slowly to the edge of the board. I mean, extremely slowly. She gets to the edge of the board and then she just stands there and she is paralyzed. And all of a sudden there's parents surrounding the pool and they're like, where are her parents? Who's the parents of the albino kid on the board? Like, what are they thinking? I take a towel, put it over my head. I'm like, where are her parents? So then Claire is starting to do the 1, 2, 1, 2. If you say 1, 2 too many times, you're going to do the walk of shame, go back down that diving board. So now she's looking for me. And, she's looking for me. I'm like, where are her parents? And then I'm waving to her from under my towel, here, Claire, here. So we make eye contact. I know you love somebody enough that you don't have to speak to communicate with them. And non-verbally, my 6-year-old daughter says, should I jump, Daddy? And her dad says, yeah, Claire, you should jump. And then she turns into the 6-year-old athlete that she is. She takes 2 really deep breaths. And she jumps off the diving board and she comes down half ballerina, half just sort of panicking. and she hits, I don't even think her upper body got wet. She started swimming like when her feet hit the water, and she just came over the water like a little water bug. And I throw the towel off my head. I'm like, I am her father. I am her father. She gets out of the pool, and I think we're going to have a Kodak moment, and she's going to run into my arms and thank me. She comes to me, she takes a left, gives me a high five, and over her shoulder, she says, I'm going again, Daddy. I'm going again. And then she went like 9,000 more times till the pool closed. I take her out of the pool. She's asleep before she hits my shoulder. I get her in her car seat. She's asleep. I get her upstairs. She's asleep. I don't take the bathing suit off, hoping chlorine doesn't like eat little girls, whatever. And I have had it. I need a beer or something. So I start to tiptoe out of the room. And she shakes a little bit. She's like, Daddy, aren't you going to snuggle with me? Yeah, oh, yeah, sure, Claire, I'll snuggle with you. So I go over, I get in bed with her. She's like, Dad, we should call Mom and tell her what we did. I'm like, no, maybe we shouldn't call Mom and tell her what we just did. And then she says, Dad, do you know how close I came to not jumping? I'm like, how close, Claire? And then she puts her fingers like a quarter of an inch apart. She's like, this close. And then she says, that would have been really bad, wouldn't it, Dad? I'm like, why would that have been so bad, Claire? And she says, just think of everything I would have missed. The connection to Christmas and the Incarnation, you ask? One of my favorite images of Jesus is returning to God post-incarnation. Who knows what that will look like. But I imagine them just sort of on some couch talking, and Jesus says to God, he's like, hey, Dad, do you know how close I came to not jumping, into the incarnation, into the mess, into the beauty, into the terrible beauty of humanity? God's like, no, Jesus, how close? Jesus says, this close. And then Jesus says, that would have been really bad, wouldn't it, Dad? And God says, why would that be so bad? And Jesus says, just think of everything I would have missed. The prospect of a God who aches over the thought of having missed being here with us. Oh, just Christmas Eve, I just want to think of Jesus saying, just think how close I came to not going. That would have been really bad. Why, Jesus? Just think of everything I would have missed. Blessed Advent, everyone. Thank you.
Let's take 1 minute to think about today's Incarnation reflection. If you're inspired to share any of your own thoughts, please put them in the comments section below the video. What in this Incarnation reflection resonates with your own experience? What do you want to say to the Lord today? And what might the Lord be saying to you? Thanks for listening to today's Incarnation Reflection with Dr. Terry Nelson Johnson. Be sure to click in tomorrow for more inspiring words by Terry. We encourage you to invite your family and friends to experience our series by going to htoh.us/Advent. These inspiring messages continue through January 4th with a new Father Michael video each Sunday and an audio reflection each weekday by one of 10 gifted presenters.
From all of us here at Heart to Heart, we wish you a holy and happy season of grace. And may God bless your heart and the hearts of all your loved ones.